everyone, and welcome to First Coast Living. I'm Casey DeSantis.
Hey, folks, I'm Curtis Dvorak.
Well, the world's most famous minor leaguer made a big splash in the first day of his, his new
St.
team.
Lucie Mets.
Yep.
St. Lucie Mets. Tim finally got to play the game. The game got rained out the first night, so they played a doubleheader.
And
in his first game of the doubleheader,
what happened?
He got just one hit in the first one, but then the second game of the doubleheader, first at bat.
This.
Oh, I'm sorry, he's lefty.
This.
Whack! There it is. There it is. Tebow just joined the team, hit his first home run for his new club in the second game of the doubleheader yesterday. Tebow had a pretty good day, though. It wasn't enough. The Mets lost to the Palm Beach Cardinals, 5-3. But yeah, he went. I think batted. Somebody said, take a picture of his stat sheet right now, and never look back because he's batting 600.
Well, you always say live in the present, right? So
stay present. You're only as good as your last at bat.
There you go. Well, so anyway.
I forget what he did in his last at bat yesterday, but still.
Good for him.
That dude always, in the moment, when the moment is there, and more people and more attention and stuff, he always comes through.
Yeah.
And what I attribute it to, as you know, is the power of collective thought. Everybody in that building, everybody watching on TV, everybody thinking about him there. The Gators had just won the national title in baseball. They're celebrating in Gainesville, right? Over the road. All that collective thought in this universe is super powerful. And bam, home run, gone.
There you go. Well, whatever. It was exciting to watch. I was surprised, though, to see that he didn't have his name on the back of the jersey, because didn't we talk about that's going to be a big seller for them, right? Because a lot of people are going to want the Tebow jersey.
It might be one of those teams that doesn't do names on the some go old school.
You think that'll change?
I do need to correct something. Verify from yesterday. I was wrong. If he does go to Double-A, the Double-A Mets team does not play in the Shrimps Southern League.
Oh.
So even if he goes up Double-A, we don't get to see him. Okay,
so he'd have to keep advancing up the ladder in order for him to come here, or what would it take for him to be on a team to play the Shrimp?
The Mets to trade him to somebody else. Yeah, because the Marlins play in the Southern League, and this is the line of people that were waiting to get in, which
I would have been in that line had I been down there.
High A ball does not see a lot of people, but yesterday, obviously, I'm sure they had their biggest crowd, and pretty cool. So we'll see how he keeps going. But right down the road, 257 miles away, you can go see him at Port St. Lucie. And he also is going to play a lot of the Florida teams in High A ball, which are all around the state. So you can go check them out.
That's awesome. Good for him. Really so happy. Okay. Another story. For many of us, life without a smartphone is hard to imagine. Not for me, honestly. I can put that thing down. I lose it sometimes. I put it in my purse because I, like you, I'll read articles on phones, but there comes a point when enough is enough, and I've had it with the phone and the notifications. Anyway, that's not the point of the story. The point of the story—
It's not about you.
No, it's not about me and my cell phone habits or anyone else for that matter, but life started to change about 10 years ago today, because that is when the very first iPhone went on sale.
It's hard to believe. It's had a massive impact on our culture, obviously, and even for people who've never owned one. Watch this.
Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone.
Steve Jobs made that promise, and 10 years ago today, Apple started making good on it.
Revolutionary. Is going to change the way we communicate.
More than 1 billion iPhone sales later, it has. Although by today's standards, that first iPhone was modest. Only 4 gigabytes of storage, a camera that only took stills, not even any apps. But the initial touchscreen dazzled CNET's Scott Stein.
How you were able to pinch to zoom for web browsing or for using maps, that was the magic thing that you'd show off to people.
More than 3 million iPhones sold that first year, almost 4 times that many in 2008, when apps came around.
And that has affected not just smartphones, but it's also affected the way that business models have been created.
Another tipping point came when an HD video camera and FaceTime were added in 2010.
That opened the doorway as a communication and camera device where people started to pick up those phones as camera replacements.
But the most recent iPhones have not been pioneers when it comes to the newest features.
There have been a lot of catch-up moves that Apple has made where they've polished them and introduced them down the road.
But Stein says that might change this fall when iPhone 8's introduced.
I think there's a lot of pressure because you always expect that Apple's going to do something big.
Just like it did.
This is how you turn it on.
10 years ago today. Mark Barger, NBC News.
That's crazy.
I remember that. Remember the games and stuff, and when the apps started coming about, people were like, "Oh, look at this neat game, yeah, where you can slice fruit in half."
What a stupid app. And now you can't live without them.
Now
Everyone asks, is there an app for that? Do you have an app for that? Because I just want to check your app.
Yeah, you get on a plane, you have your app, you know, the ticket's right there, you scan the phone.
Yeah.
I mean, it changed this business, it changed the media, it changed everything.
It's crazy.
It changed you.
We
These
shoot
are
some
all
of
your
our
phones.
show. Yeah, so here's, I decided to collect some phones here of some old iPhones, and we have the, this one is the iPhone 2, I believe, because it's 8 gigabytes.
We don't know whose phone that, wait, is
this
that?
This is actually Chanel's Beau. Chat. He gave us this and said, "Don't turn it on."
Okay, so don't do that, especially on the air.
This is the 3GS. This is the 3G. But yeah, these were. Look at these. It's like so small, fits like that.
And the first ones were real heavy, right? They were like a brick.
Here's the 4, and then the 6 Plus. This one right here.
That's the one I have.
Massive. Yeah. This was the really big one. Here's my 7. I got to check some mail. But the 6 Plus, this one right here, I just want a moment of silence here. Never forget Hurricane Matthew. I lost this one in Hurricane Matthew, the 6 Plus.
But it's back.
No, it doesn't work.
Oh, okay. Oh,
so
it's here in memory.
All those videos you see online from the Hurricane Matthew from Jack's Beach.
Yeah, that was
thanks to this guy.
Oh, well, he served you well.
Yeah,
he did at the time.
It's just crazy to see what they've done. They started, everything was getting smaller. Remember, we were trying to get small cell phones?
Right, it was hard to type.
Yeah.
Your fingers, I have fat fingers.
Now everybody wants to watch TV on their phone. A lot of you are probably watching on your phone right now.
Right, and you know what's neat about the latest one, and you're the reason why I want to get you have the 7, because we were talking about shooting video, and you shoot video on there that is quality good enough to be on the air. This one, the 6 Plus, isn't
right now
good
we're
enough
shooting
to be
with my iPhone. You don't even know it.
How about that?
It's right here on the table. You can't. I got the new app.
There's an app for that you could.
That floats. No.
Whatever.
There's drones around us right now, everywhere.
And he has a drone, and you brought the drone with you to Italy, which I wondered how that was going to go.
But it's really
apparently
cool.
it's okay.
Really cool. Crazy to think it's only 10 years ago, but
yeah. Okay.